Everybody's got a price. Everybody's gonna pay. DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, and you're listening to the Wrestle Talk Podcast.
Without the night out, you're tuning in to Wrestle Talk. 657-383-1521. We'll be discussing WWE, NXT, Lucha Underground, ROH, fantasy wrestling, and we have some of the best damn interviews for professional and independent wrestling that you've ever heard.
And I'm Joe Lamb. Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts. Keep your arms in the vehicle at all times. Wrestle Talk begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enjoy the ride.
Que pasa, que pasa, que pasa, loyal members of the Wrestle Talk Familia. It is your boy, El Búho de la Noche, the Night Owl, checking in from the heartland of the United States. That's right, baby. Kansas City is in the house, and we are so glad that you decided to take a few moments out of your day to tune in to episode 249, or is it 39, of the Wrestle Talk Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host once again, the Night Owl. In just a few moments, we're going to be joined by a parade of entertaining guests. My man Nightmare Jones will be here in just a matter of moments. As we wait for him to arrive, we're going to be bringing on Luke Roberts of Dynamo Pro Wrestling. He wants to talk about this JR to MEW situation. He wants to talk about the drama between Makaze and Adrian Surge over at Dynamo Pro. Once we're done talking to our old buddy Luke Roberts, we'll move on in the first hour and talk to the Majesty himself, the governor, the leader of the Rabid Empire, Nigel Rabid. For those who have made the claim that managers are no longer relevant in the world of professional wrestling, that they've been eliminated, well, you've never met Nigel Rabid. And honestly, after the interview today, a lot of you may feel like, hey, I wish I would have never met that guy. But trust me, you're going to want to hear what he has to say. Immediately following Nigel Rabid, we'll go to break. I got a dope break song for you guys. I know you're going to be super excited about it, okay? And then we'll come back with a very special edition of the FWWC segment. My understanding is we're actually going to get to speak to the originator, creator, the hit administrator, Money Man Mills on tonight's episode as we get ready for the premier watch party in the world that'll take place in Shawnee, Kansas this Sunday night. That's right, UniverseMania 5. Once we wrap things up with the FWWC, then we're going to close it out with a guest that I personally am super stoked about because I'm a huge hip-hop fan. And this guy, Josiah Williams, a.k.a. J-Will, a.k.a. Wrestle and Flow, he has found a way to combine, to merge two of my favorite things in the whole wide world, and that is professional wrestling and hip-hop music. And he does it probably better than anybody that I've ever heard. So if you guys weren't already excited about the fact that we're going to be talking about all things in the world of professional wrestling, you can be excited about some of those wonderful guests that are going to be joining us tonight. Till we get some of those people on the line, I want to encourage you guys to dial that number before those lines get way too filled up. That number, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be 657-383-1521. That's again 657-383-1521. I want you guys to join me. I want to hear everything that you guys want to discuss pertaining to the world of professional wrestling. Did you love Raw? Did you hate it? Did you love SmackDown? Did you hate it? Are you going to any independent shows this coming weekend? Have you been to any independent shows recently? And what are your thoughts about not only the WrestleMania card and the NXT card, but everything else that's going on in the world of pro wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got lots and lots to cover, but it will not be quite as fun if you guys do not participate. So let me give you that number just one more time. That's 657-383-1521. It is super, super important that you guys join us and take part in these conversations, because ultimately the reason that this show exists is that we like to interact with the fans. I'm already looking at the board here. We've got a ton of people set up, ready to go, ready to bring their heat. And you know what? I want to hear it. I want to hear how passionate pro wrestling fans are, because quite honestly, guys, this is our Christmas week. This is what we look forward to all year round as wrestling fans. We are waiting for WrestleMania week, and it is upon us. I even got my WrestleMania hat, dang it. Special callers. Shoot, we might even give something away. I don't know. I do have one of these beer mugs for those that are interested, customized with the Wrestle Talk Podcast logo. And if you behave yourselves, we might even put your name on it. That's right. So if you guys tune into the shotcast, I want to see those stuff flying across the screen, and this broadcast just getting a lot of love, support, interaction. We're going to choose somebody tonight to go home with a Wrestle Talk Podcast mug. With all that being said, as we wait for Jonesy and Skywalker Roberts, I'm going to ask everybody to please respectfully remove their caps as we pay homage, ladies and gentlemen, to the greatest country on God's green earth. And that's America, damn it. Oh, say, can you see the rocket red
I'll make up for it now. Oh, the
land of the free. Brings a tear to my eye every single time. And let me tell you what, I'm not going to get in to tonight's edition of the High Spot segment alone. So as we play this music, I want you guys to simultaneously help me welcome in a big-time contributor and longtime member of the Wrestle Talk family, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Luke Skywalker Roberts.
Earth rings, we have now taken over your radio.
hit 'em high, hit 'em high, hit 'em high. Hit 'em low, hit 'em low.
I'm going to the hole. Cause I ain't got no game. I'm breaking your out the frame, coming through like a train. Looking to take over the whole world is my goal. With my unstoppable food.
Skywalker! Skywalker, are you with us? Are you with us tonight, bro? What is up, baby? How you feeling?
Well, I gotta tell you right now, Renee, I mean, again, this is Christmas, Easter, the 4th of July, Memorial Day, you name it, every holiday that you could possibly imagine all rolled into one when it comes to a professional wrestling fan. This is WrestleMania week. This is UniverseMania 5 week, and I gotta tell you, Renee, I gotta ask. I know UniverseMania has been one of the hottest tickets going around right now. People are getting ready to enjoy this great week of professional wrestling. But I got to ask you a question. I know the WWE has it in their budget. I got to ask you, have you pointed to the UniverseMania sign yet?
Have I pointed to the UniverseMania sign yet? You know what? We are going to get a sign point at some point throughout today's show. I promise you that. And what I can almost promise you is that today's show is going to be jam-packed with some great conversation. We've already got the phone lines filled, and Nightmare isn't even here yet, Luke. And, man, I am so damn excited, bro. Not only is UniverseMania 5 this weekend, not only are we giving away one of these beautiful, brand-new, customized Wrestle Talk podcast mugs, but allow me to remind everyone, and I know, Luke, I know you've already taken advantage of this, so you could maybe sometime in the near future give us a testimonial. I wanted to remind everybody that we do have a newfound partnership with Doorco Razors available to you guys right now at a discounted price. Shipping is free, no contracts, at the merch booth at WrestleTalkPodcast.com. there's only one way that I like to prepare for Wrestle Talk. You know, I like to keep it so fresh and so clean. My Pace 7 with my backup razors and my Dorco cream, man, I've never felt better. No irritation, no leftover stubble. It helps me stay clean an extra day because of the 7 blades in the Pace 7. And, dude, the best part of it all is that 0 of my dollars are going to those dirty, rotten New England Patriots. That's right. I'm not giving any more of my money to Gillette, Skywalker. None. 0. I'm keeping it all for the Wrestle Talk family because you know what? They got enough money, and they don't need our money. So, guys, again, our Dorco special is going on right now. Pretty much anything you buy is going to be discounted, and you're going to get free shipping as long as you go over to the merch booth at WrestleTalkPodcast.com. So I'm pretty excited about that. Rob, I got to know, man, what is on your mind, Skywalker? What the hell are you fired up about concerning the world of pro wrestling, bro?
Well, first of all, I got to tell you right now, Renee, it is awesome to be on the show tonight. But I got to tell you right now, what makes it even more awesome is the fact that I am in the brand new. And Rodell has been he's just been amazed at the brand new Dynamo Pro Media Department office. We've been having about the last month. We've been dealing with getting some construction done, getting some renovations done. I'll tell you right now, I've literally been in my office now, this new office, about 3 days. It's a perfect timing. It's WrestleMania week, and I got to tell you right off the bat, Renee, to me, something that I can't even wrap my head around it just yet. Is the idea it's signed, it's sealed, it's confirmed. Every media outlet's been talking about it. Good old JR, Jim Ross, after a better part of 26 or 27 years as a member of the WWE, makes a move and joins AEW. And he made no bones about it. He talked about Cody. He talked about the Young Bucks. He talked about Tony Khan. He talked about the vision that AEW has and this new perspective, if you will, on professional wrestling. And I got to tell you, Renee, I know that you aren't necessarily totally keen on AEW, but you got to admit this is another bombshell pickup when it comes to AEW, and they're cementing themselves as one of those main level players in the professional wrestling world.
Well, there's no doubt about it, Skywalker, and I'll tell you what, I'm excited, and so are all the callers. If you guys are on hold, if you want to do me a favor and shoot me the last 4 of your phone number, currently without a screener, that way I know who I'm bringing on the line, or if not, we can just wing it, and I'm good with that. Anybody's scared, so we can go ahead and do that. But let me tell you, as we go ahead and start working on getting some of these callers on, Skywalker, here's kind of what I thought was interesting. So far the blueprint of AEW is a very progressive and open promotion. We've seen Sonny Kiss. We've seen many wrestlers that in some other formats maybe would not fit well enough. But they seem to fit the AEW format. And a lot of people are staking the claim or making the assertion that signing a traditionalist, an old school country boy from Oklahoma, goes against the demographic that they're shooting for. It goes against the presence that they're trying to put out there. Their perception of AEW is that they're very open. You know, they've got the transgenders, they've got gay people, they've got every walk of life. And for some reason, people seem to think that bringing JR into that equation is a step backwards or a step in the right direction. I don't know if they think he's some sort of like bigoted redneck Republican or something. I don't know that to be the case of Jim Ross ever, but that is out there, and a lot of people are saying it. So I'm curious, somebody that's been around as long as you have, what is your perception of it?
Well, I got to tell you right now, Renee, when I look at things, and I'm just going to tell you flat out, and Jim Ross and the legacy, I mean, again, I get exactly what you were saying, and a lot of wrestling fans may say, oh, well, he's completely going to change this forward momentum. But, I mean, again, when you get somebody with look at his credentials. I mean, he cut his teeth in the Mid-South territory many, many years ago under Cowboy Bill Watts. He spent many years in talent relations with the WWE. Hands down, one of, if not the greatest wrestling announcers in history. the man is pretty much a wealth of history and knowledge, and now you get the opportunity to bring him in. It's not like the mainstream wrestling fan of today is going to have forgotten him. A lot of fans, it's the Attitude Era. Look at him. As of right up until, a couple months ago, he was helping commentate New Japan.
He was.
I mean, the guy's been around. He's there. I mean, to me, I think it's a golden opportunity. And JR, I was listening to one of the podcasts, I believe it was the Road to All or Nothing, or Road to Double or Nothing. And JR basically saying the comment of, well, this is a new vision. This is a new opportunity for me to share my knowledge and expertise. And I'll just say this, Cody Rhodes really basically said in no uncertain terms, why did you hire Jim Ross? And his reply was because it is Jim Ross. And personally, I got to think that AEW, for somebody with that knowledge, that amount of expertise, I got to say right now, Renee, kudos to AEW, and again, giving JR yet another opportunity. I mean, again, Mid-South, WCW, WWE, New Japan, and now you can add to the list his Hall of Fame credentials is now a part of AEW. And I'm going to tell you right now, when it comes down to it, a lot of people say that Jim Ross is one of, if not the best. To me, there's only a handful that are even in that same category. To me, you look at Jim Ross, to me, in a commentary like a Lance Russell or the Dean of Announcers, Gordon Soley. This man's been there, and I'm going to tell you, again, kudos to AEW for this blockbuster pickup.
And you know what? I absolutely wholeheartedly agree. The other thing, though, that not many people agree on is what we saw this past week on Monday between the women, which included a couple of former guests of the Wrestle Talk podcast, including the illustrious Bill Bain, who ended up playing one of the police officers who got a forearm to the chin, courtesy of the queen herself, Charlotte Flair. And, of course, I'm talking about the brawl between Ronda Rousey, the man Becky Lynch, and Charlotte on Monday night. I'm curious, and we're going to go ahead and bring a caller on for this. What do you guys think? Did it feel like the Attitude Era again? Was it too over the top to enjoy it? Because from what I understand, from what people were tweeting from inside the building, Skywalker, the people in the building lost it. They loved it. They were head over heels. I loved it on television, but I'm curious to hear what some of the members of the Wrestle Talk family think about it. So let's go ahead and bring on a guy who hasn't been with us in a very, very long time, a man who made an appearance in the FWC today for the first time in a long time. Folks, welcome in our buddy, our amigo, the Legion.
People in the building lost it. They loved it. They were head over heels. I loved it on television.
Yo,
Legion, what's going on, man?
I can't call it, sir. How you doing? It's good to be back in the FWWC.
Dude, well, it was great to see you back in the world's premier fantasy wrestling promotion. And we're going to be talking about that a little bit more in the second hour, Legion. But right now, man, we're talking about AEW signing Jim Ross. We're talking about the brawl between Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda Rousey from this past week. And, of course, we're talking about UniverseMania 5, baby. What are you excited about the world of pro wrestling, man?
This is Legion. I just was on air.
Oh, I'll hold on a second. Sorry about that.
All right, it looks like we got Jonesy back and he's screening. Woo, Jonesy! Yeah, baby. Wow. Now we got us a show, baby. All right, so Jonesy, I'm the host. You put me on hold, you bonehead. Finish screening those callers. Legion, back to you, bro. What are you excited about, man? UniverseMania 5, Jim Ross to AEW. The girls are losing their minds. It's feeling like the Attitude Era again, bro. What do you think about everything that's going on, man? How excited are you?
I am super excited about Jim Ross. Let me start with AEW. AEW is one of those things that gives me chills because it brings back the feeling of old WCW. Not new WCW in old WCW when Lex Luger was making the jump, when Hogan was making the jump. You have all these major names making the jump to a promotion that hasn't even cut its teeth. You know, but the good thing about AEW, like WCW, they have backing. They have other promotions that are willing to feed into it, and they're non-exclusive. So that makes me very excited. You know, for somebody who actually gets to see a little bit of the backstage of the business now, you know, doing what I do, it's a very, very exciting thing.
Well, that is very exciting. And Jonesy, welcome to the show, man. I know you were running a little bit late. I know you had some exams that you wanted to take care of. First of all, bro, you come back, and for the first time in a long time, we got the Legion on the line. And, bro, of course, we're in the middle of the high spot segment. So, Jonesy, right off the bat, bro, what's on your mind?
Oh, what is on my mind? Well, I do have a little clip that I wanted to play that I think that everybody is going to find pretty funny. So, if you allow, it's a 5-minute clip. So, is it okay if I play said clip?
Okay, well, you know what? Let's get through some of these callers, and then we'll go ahead and play the clip right before we bring on Nigel Rabid, because we do have a few people that have been on hold for a little while. Before we let him go, Legion, here's my question to you, man. I know you expressed it a little bit earlier today in your promo in regards to your time in the FWWC, man. Here in about 30 seconds or so, could you do us a favor and tell us, man, what does the FWWC mean to you, and why is it so important that everybody is at UniverseMania 5 this Sunday at Esports Bar KC?
Well, the FWWC is innovation. That's what it's about. It's about giving people something that they didn't have before. You know, you have fantasy football, you have fantasy basketball, you have fantasy baseball, but you never had fantasy wrestling. And then the fact that we get it so far into things that you don't normally get into with fantasy sports. This is not just an e-sport, it's an e-brand.
Right.
So the FWWC means innovation, and it's a platform for people. I'm looking at people like Allison Shea Atticus. There's a new guy.
Let's just call my case for Joe Renee. You be speaking with so I can get your name down.
Go ahead, Legion. You're good. That's Joe messing around with the boards again. All right, hey, Legion. If you could rewind there about 20 seconds, man. Joe accidentally put you on hold. Go ahead.
So proud of the people that were posting here recently. Allison Shea Atticus, Voorhees, you know, the Sons of Funk. These guys are putting out quality content that makes me excited. So this is one of those things where now, looking at the FWWC, it doesn't look like it used to. You know, it used to look like a bunch of ragtag, motley crew people putting up videos in their car. That's not happening anymore. And I appreciate the quality of product the FWWC is putting out today.
Well, you know what, man, and I apologize for the interruptions, but I think your message is coming through loud and clear. There's a reason that we're well over 425 members in the FWWC. The fact of the matter is, man, that this has turned into a lot more than a bunch of geeks on AOL back in the 90s playing E-Feds. This is a community of wrestling fans that refuse to sit on the sidelines. And you know, Legion, there's a lot of people who would otherwise be able to or would want to be professional wrestlers, but for whatever reason, whether it be financial, physical, whatever their circumstances are, they can't do it. So this gives them that platform, and not only can they experience it online, when they come to one of our events, they get to rub elbows with other people in the genre And we bring in a lot of amazing guests to these events. We've seen Hollis Jarreau at that event. We've had KLD. We've had Mike Outlaw. And of course, we've had Jay Savage and even Gil Rogers most recently at one of our events. So, Legion, thank you for being here tonight, man. If you want to call back during the FWWC segment, you're more than welcome to. And we hopefully will see you this Sunday at Esports Bar KC, man.
All right. We'll see you at Esports Bar on Sunday. Hopefully, I get to come back.
You got it, bro. I'd love to see that. Grace and peace.
All right. You too.
Awesome. Awesomeness. Well, you know what, Jonesy? It continues to get exciting, and we apologize for the technical difficulties, guys. Joe was running a little bit late. I'm a little crossed up, but we're going to get it right. We're going to get it right for you. Before we conclude tonight's edition of the High Spot segment, we want to play that clip for you. But before we do that, let's go ahead and bring Skywalker back on. Skywalker, I know we've talked a little AEW, but nobody's taking my bait concerning this situation with the ladies on Monday night, man. It was very refreshing. It was extremely intense. And even my wife, who was sitting right next to me while it was going on, even she got excited about it. So tell me, man, a guy that's been around pro wrestling for well over 20 years, such as yourself, man, what were your thoughts of it, man? Did you kind of get the feeling that we're going a little bit back to the Attitude Era when you saw that whole thing play out?
Well, I got to tell you, Renee, the way I'm looking at things right now, I mean, I've got to give kudos to the women just because of that, like as we said before, they are the main event of this year's WrestleMania. And you've never seen it before, but I got to tell you right now, where while everything was great on Monday night, I have one major concern, and that's, to me, this whole new stipulation of winner take all. Now, they've been talking for a long time about the division of Raw and SmackDown. And to me, I look at it from a point of view right now where I think it's one of those things where if you get a Becky Lynch who is successful at WrestleMania, she winds up winning 2 championships in one match. They've been talking for years about this idea of having 2 separate entities, and that concerns me because it seems as though maybe it's one of those that it's a sign of things to come. But I think right now the ladies are firing all cylinders, Renee, and like I said, they are the main event at WrestleMania. And again, WrestleMania now is, let's see here, we're 96 hours away.
Wow.
It's going to be a great event. So.
Well, you know what? And I do want to get those same thoughts from my partner in crime, Nightmare Jones. But Skywalker, I want to thank you, man, for stepping in and being a part of the show. I know you guys are rocking it and killing it over at Dynamo Pro. So before you go, just in a quick 30-second snippet here, can you tell us exactly what's going on over at Dynamo, particularly concerning Adrian Surge and the heavyweight champion, Makaze?
Well, I got to tell you right now, Dynamo Pro Wrestling has not 1, not 2, but 3 events coming up this month. April 13th at Fubar, April 18th at Gateway Harley-Davidson in South St. Louis, and on Saturday night, April 20th, as we saw at our last event at Concordia, Lights Out Adrian Surge making his return to Dynamo Pro Wrestling, attacking the Wind of Destruction, Makaze. And now he wanted a chance to win back his championship, or he's going to have to do it on a whole other level, because Saturday night, April 20th, Concordia Turner's Gymnasium, Makaze versus Adrian Surge. It's the rematch, but with one extra provision, and that is whomever loses the fall not only is not the Dynamo Pro champion, but has to retire. Yes, you heard me correct. Career versus career. I'll tell you right now, Makaze is going to do anything he can to win that championship and keep that championship. Lights Out Adrian Surge wants to get back what he never lost. And I'm going to tell you, gentlemen, this weekend is going to be awesome, but I got to tell you, April 20th, Dynamo Pro Wrestling, if the landscape very well may change, we either see the end of Lights Out Adrian Surge or we see the end of the Wind of Destruction. I got to tell you right now, guys, at this point in time, the only way to get an answer is to be there live.
Well, thank you very much, Skywalker. And when I'm sure we encourage everybody to go to @Dynamo Pro Wrestling, again, @Dynamo Pro Wrestling throughout your whole social media branch and see what you can look up on those guys. They also got a bunch of great stuff on YouTube, including the snitch ending up in the shower, knocked out. Jonesy, I know that broke your heart. I want to get your thoughts on that here real quick. and then also your thoughts on the on what we saw the past Monday as we start shifting gears towards our first featured interview of the evening with the Lord, the governor of the Rabid Empire, Nigel Rabid. What are your thoughts, Jonesy?
Oh my goodness. The snitch. I don't know what happened, but I'm almost sure that Chris Rodell has something to do with the snitch being attacked. I'm almost sure of it.
Oh, will you stop that? Chris Rodell, wait a minute. Chris Rodell came in last week, was nice enough to spare us a few minutes from his busy week, did a great job, had a fantastic interview, and now you're accusing that man? What's wrong with you, Nightmare?
I'm just saying, Chris Rodell and the snitch do not have a very good relationship, and then all of a sudden the snitch ends up knocked unconscious in the shower room. Come on now, something smells fishy.
Well, other than your breath, I don't smell anything else smelling fishy around here. All right, Jonesy, well, listen, let me get your thoughts real quick, though, on this deal that happened on Monday, because the governor is quite pissed off that we've already ate up 4 minutes of his time, so make it snappy.
Oh, what happened on Monday Night Raw with the women was absolutely insane. Like, it was, I would have to say, when I was watching Monday Night Raw, and I saw Ronda Rousey take that kick, and she bangs her head off the side of the door.
Are you talking about the knee? The knee from Charlotte? That was bad.
Yes, that had to hurt.
It was like this.
I was like, oh my God.
Some of our older fans will remember that voice. That's awesome. Well, Jonesy, man, it's been a little bit of a cluster, man. These shows usually go a little bit smoother, but you know what, man? It ain't about how many times you fall off the horse. It's about how many times you get your stinking ass up. And guess what, man? We're going to keep on bobbing and weaving here on the Wrestle Talk podcast, ladies and gentlemen. And I will say this. I had an opportunity to work with our next guest now on 2 separate occasions. And Jonesy, this is not going to surprise you, but to be frank, bro, we do not get along, okay? I go over to Midwest Elite Wrestling. I do my job. I do the commentary. I like to call things down the line when somebody's doing something good and they deserve to be recognized. I do that. When somebody's doing something wrong or underhanded, I'm not going to pretend like I didn't see it. I'm going to point it out and I'm going to say something. But whenever I'm forced to sit across the table from this man is the spin doctor supreme. He always seems to find a way to justify his actions. And really, there's nobody that can speak for him. And I know that we had some questions. So I went ahead very trepidatiously, very apprehensively. I reached out to his people to see if one Nigel Rabid could come on the show. And I've been told that he is going to be available to us on a very limited basis tonight. Not sure if he'll answer every question, but we'll do our best. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, welcome to the show, the governor, the leader, the creator of the Rabid Empire, Nigel Rabid.
Ray, I'm not even on the show yet, and you already started insulting me.
What are you talking about? That was a great introduction, Nigel. What are you talking about?
Oh, yes, it was a great introduction, Oh, he finds ways to justify, look, it is my job. Do you have jobs in Kansas?
Well, I live in Kansas City, and yes,
people, but certainly not on the other end of this line. See, what it is my job is to facilitate victory. Do you know what victory? No, that's right. Kansas City Chiefs.
Wait a minute. Don't you get personal with me, Nigel. I invited you on the show. You're going to respect me on my own damn show.
I'm giving you all the respect you give me, love.
Don't call me love.
Well, if you're going to start doing that, we might as well just ask Mr. Jones to leave the room because things are going to get uncomfortable.
Okay. You know what? There's no need. Listen, I know you've got quite a bit of manpower under your authority. So let's try to keep it diplomatic. Let's try to keep it cordial. You know, as one of your fellow countrymen used to say, can we have a little bit of decorum, please? There's no need for things to get nasty. Jonesy, why don't you go ahead and take it away with Mr. Rabid so I can get me a sip of water and cool down a little bit.
Absolutely. So it is a pleasure to have you on, sir. And I would have to say that my first question is, when are we going to see the gentleman known as Kyle King in the Rabid Empire?
Why would I put Kyle King in the Rabid Empire? Just because the man has royalty implied in his name does not mean that it's in his blood, nor does it mean that his talent requires application to the Rabid Empire. See, Jonesy, you don't know this about me, but see, if enough of the royals die, you'll be talking to His Majesty Nigel Rabid. I come from legacy of kings. I don't need to have someone who's had his name slapped on him at Ellis Island just to make him feel important.
Wow.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I've done a little bit of research, and it seems like you're always trying to bring in somebody else to take out Kyle King, and it seems to always fail. What's next for this mission to take out Kyle King?
I have on good authority that Kyle King will be taken care of very soon. Very soon. But like all good strategists, I don't just give away my plans. See, if I give away my plans, much like Winston Churchill never gave away his plans on the British airwaves, if I give away my plans, then the enemy knows. And I mean, you can tell just by looking at Mr. King that he has something a bit access opposed to allies about him. I'm not going to let him ruin what the Rabid Empire is going to build.
Absolutely. And my last question before I throw it back to my co-host Renee, this Saturday I'm actually going to be at a MEW show, my first ever MEW show. Can you tell me, somebody that's never been to an MEW show, what can I expect?
What can you expect? Well, MEW provides excellent professional wrestling, especially when the Rabid Empire has been invited. When the Rabid Empire isn't invited, you can expect thuggery, violence, usually perpetrated by the Rabid Empire because we weren't invited.
That's true. That's true.
That is a very, very, very good answer. And I must say, Renee, you know how I am, and I would have to say that Mr. Nigel Rabid is up there in list of one of my favorite people, with Ozzy Gallagher, Rick Maverick, Volatile Curtis Wild, and the Snitch. So,
will you stop it?
Guy.
Will you stop it already? Okay, enough. Enough.
Why are we just not having him on?
Oh, okay. Wait a minute now. So people like you, Jonesy.
I'm just wondering why there are other people on the list.
Oh, geez, Luis. You see the arrogance. This is exactly what I'm talking about. People like you, people like Chris Phoenix, people that just love Nigel Rabid, when they don't have to sit across him at the commentary table and be constantly excited, insulted, being made fun of. I think you made some Taco Bell jokes last time that we were working together. What, all that kind of stuff, Nigel. You're pulling those shenanigans in Missouri. You're doing it in Oklahoma. You're doing it in Texas. Really, you're doing it across the globe. Why do you feel like you have to take this approach and demean every single person that doesn't immediately bow to you in your empire?
First of all, Renee, if I was making Taco Bell jokes, because Kansas has two.
It's Kansas City. Get it right.
No. I was talking about your entire bloody state of Kansas. You know, the one that I keep going to and looking at it disdainfully because there's that odor in the air.
Oh, wow.
Well, it says,
it's going to get very far.
I grow dirt because I'm a hardworking American.
That's right. And what's wrong with that?
With growing dirt? I don't know, an explain supply and demand, I suppose. But see, if I was making fun of you, it was because speaking to you feels like speaking to a failed Frenchman. Because here you are with this lovely name that bespeaks French culture, and yet you're not French, are you, Renee?
No, I'm not, okay? It's not my fault. I didn't choose the name.
But you're putting on airs.
My goodness. Well, you know what? I'm damn proud of my name. And if I was French, I'd be a badass Frenchman. I'd cook some great French bread and French fries and French rolls. I would be great at all that, just like I am at cooking tacos and menudo and all. But you know what? Enough of that. Enough about me. We're here to talk about you, Nigel. And here's what I want to know. You are one of the men in the independent wrestling scene today who has taken the perception that the manager and the leader of a faction can no longer survive in the environment of pro wrestling in 2019. And you're not only breaking that narrative, you're smashing it because of the level of success that you and your associates are having. Can you talk to us a little bit about the origins of Nigel Rabid and where you developed this ability to lead?
Talking about where someone gets the ability to lead is a lot like talking about where someone gets the ability to breathe. You're either able to do it or you're not. Speaking completely seriously, it requires one to be able to put aside self-doubt, one to put aside fears, and one to be willing to make statements that will have one ridiculed. And in an industry such as ours, that is not necessarily an easy prospect, especially as you put it, my chosen path in professional wrestling is not one that is, as of recently, fraught with success.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Used too many big words, didn't I?
No. Well, I'm trying to process here, and really from what I've seen, you in a very short period of time have drawn just as much attention to your talent than anybody else just in MEW. And I know you work other places, and I do want to talk about that, but almost immediately you were in the crosshairs of my broadcast colleague, Paul Michael Davis. And all he was there to do was just to kind of serve as a celebrity guest manager, but you couldn't help but put your hands on him. And I have to believe that that was not something that you were just born with. I have to believe that it has to do with your training, your upbringing, and the people that you came up around when you began your journey in professional wrestling. That's what I want to know about.
Well, first of all, I did not lay hands on
That's right.
Michaels.
You use
He
that
laid
cricket.
hands on me.
You use that stinking cricket that you're always putting in people's faces.
I did not use my cricket bat on him until the second match that we were entwined in, and that was after he assaulted me ringside. Go back and watch the footage.
I was there, Nigel, but whatever. Let's move on.
This is one of the things. Yes, I know you were there, but you had your eyes closed apparently because
what?
I was assaulted during the tag match. You don't recall this? Jonesy, I now understand everything you have to do.
What do you mean?
Here you're running around with half-truths and your perceptions, which are inaccurate. And when someone says, go back and watch the footage, your response is not to, all right, let me go ahead and research to make sure that I'm standing on solid ground. No. What you do is, I was there. I'm right. It's like It's like you're just any number of your political parties in this bloody country. Which one are you this week, Renee? Are you Russian collusion?
What?
Perhaps, maybe you're live abortions. Is that where we are?
No, what are you talking about? What do you compare me to live abortions? What's wrong with you?
Well, I mean, obviously, I've come onto your show in goodwill, and you can't even give me the credit of saying, well, you know, Nigel, maybe I'm misremembering things.
I'm not.
Watch the footage. I expect a full apology next week.
That's fine, Nigel. That's fine.
But,
we're gonna have to agree to disagree then. That's fine.
You can agree to disagree about facts all day long, but when I'm correct because I'm speaking factually, that's where agreeing to disagree does not quite align. But anyway. I digress. As far as the persons who I was blessed to come up around in this business, I was actually very blessed to be mentored at the very beginning of my career lightly. I can't lay claim to training. I wish I could. But the late, great General Skandar Akbar was very kind to me, very influential, and very supportive of the things that I was doing. And I hope, because I embarked into management after his passing, I hope that I am carrying on in his legacy as to how he would prefer. But as far as managers, there weren't very many managers. I mean, there was, in Texas, there was a gentleman who I don't believe is really doing much in the way of work anymore, Kyle Davis. And Kyle Davis was a bit of an inspiration because he was a manager on the independent level who was very, very explosive. He was a tremendous catalyst to the fans. He steps out and it was like setting a match to petrol. It was immediate flames. People disliked him immediately. And he was very good at what he did. And there are some other gentlemen who did some great work as well. Abu Ronsonol, a witch doctor fellow whose name unfortunately escapes me. But Kyle Davis really gave me the idea that maybe, just maybe, this was something I could do. Because when I broke into the business, I broke in actually doing color commentary in the style of Bobby the Brain Heenan. I from there led into announcing and realized most companies have an announcer, and the only way to get a new job as an announcer is to find another company that needs an announcer. So I decided to branch out. And Mr. Heenan has always been a heavy influence in my direction as a career. And so Heenan had a family. I decided I'd have an empire.
Well, that is very cool. And I even have to admit that it's very admirable that you've had the opportunity and have those sort of guys that you look up to, because honestly, I may not always enjoy when we have to share our commentary table, but I will be the first to admit there's always a bit to learn when you're sitting next to Nigel Rabid. So I've got to give you credit for that. I also have to give you credit because of how well traveled you are. I know Texas, the Midwest are some of the areas that you worked in up to this point. In your travels, Nigel, have you run across any names, so to speak, or people that maybe you grew up admiring that you got actually a chance to meet in person? Have you had any of those experiences up to this point in your career?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, as a result of an annual reunion that occurs in Texas called Red Bastine's Shootout in honor of the late, great Red Bastine, I had the opportunity to meet the Doctor of Style Slick. I met Doink the Clown, two iterations of Doink, as a matter of fact.
I met both Matt and Dusty. I've had the honor of working for the legendary killer Jim Brooks. And God bless him and prayers be with him as he's fighting cancer right now. I've had the honor of shaking the hand of WWE Hall of Famer Greg the Hammer Valentine. I've been very blessed as a manager. I've managed some legends. I've had the honor of managing Red Dog Rodney Mack. I've had the honor of managing Raven. I've had the honor of managing Charlie Haas on two separate title runs, but at the same time for the same company. I've had the honor of managing perhaps one of the most terrifying human beings in professional wrestling today, the American Psycho Lance Hoyt. You know, did you say who?
No.
That was Jonesy. He did it.
Oh, all right.
He did it.
I'm just making sure that he didn't say who, because if he said who, that might mean that Mr. Hoyt would be here at any moment. He's much like the boogeyman. You say his name too many times,
and he pops up.
I mean, he's had Cahagas on, and I wasn't afraid of Cahagas. If Mr. Hoyt wants to come on, by any means.
Oh, Nightmare, you know that's only because your ass is in West Virginia. And by the way, we got James on the Facebook Live saying don't forget about Iceman and Matt Bourne. So there are a few more names.
Oh yes, absolutely. I've had the honor of meeting Iceman King Parsons. I've had the honor of meeting Maniac Matt Bourne.
Very cool.
I've had the honor of I've had the honor of meeting so many of the tremendous talent that comes out of Texas, and managing some tremendous talent. Lads who either have moved in different directions, and so therefore we don't get to connect very often, or lads who have moved on. I've had brushes with greatness. Very literally was going to manage someone who has been making quite a name for themselves in the WWE, and missed them as an opportunity to manage them by literally a day, because what ended up happening is a last minute decision was made, and instead of me managing them, I managed another person, and that was a tremendous and tremendously exciting as well. I've had the honor of meeting the Von Erichs, Marshall and Russ, and had an opportunity of shaking hands with their father Kevin.
Wow!
And this business has been very, very good to me, and I'm very grateful for it. Now I've literally had my hand engulfed by the great Khali.
What?
That man
That's crazy.
Tremendous. Oh yes, you shake hands with the great Khali, and if he wanted to keep it, he could. And all he'd need to do is apply a little more pressure, and then you're suddenly missing your hand. But a very gracious host, very, very tremendous human being, very kind. I've had the honor of working for him. As a matter of fact, been to India 3 times for CWE and working for the great Khali. Worked as a result of working with the great Khali. I've worked with some tremendous talent who are currently cutting their teeth in NXT. Keep your eyes open for Sam Shaw. Samuel Shaw's a tremendous competitor, extremely athletic, very talented, very exciting human being. I've had the pleasure of working with Crimson of Impact fame. As a matter of fact, Jonesy, I wouldn't be surprised if within maybe, say, roughly a 3 to 4 hour drive from you will be Tried and True Pro Wrestling, which is Crimson's company, which he and his tag team partner, Jax Dane, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, thank you, run roughshod in their promotion. Now,
that's awesome.
Man, you absolutely should. Well, I've had the pleasure of being on the road with people who, if they're not legends now, they will be legends when we realize how horribly bereft our business will be when they finally decide to leave it. As a matter of fact, just this weekend was riding with Adam Asher, the Apocalypse, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion Tim Storm, and the legendary James Baird. And the sheer amount of knowledge in that car, I tried to keep as quiet as I possibly could, just so that I could learn and listen and grow. Because James been a referee for WWE, the NWA, New Japan Pro Wrestling, has traveled the world. Now, JBL wrote the foreword for his biography.
Amazing.
And the amount of knowledge that man has is incredible, the amount of wisdom in our business. And there's going to come a time when he decides to not do this anymore. And our business is going to be sadder for it.
Well, you know what? I knew it was going to take a little time, and we were going to have to get over some hurdles, but I figured that we could get to the depth of one Nigel Rabid. And there you are, ladies and gentlemen. We're never going to get along. We're never going to see eye to eye on certain things. But when it comes to this man's affinity and love and dedication to his empire and professional wrestling, is absolutely unquestioned. Jonesy, why don't you squeeze your final question in so we can transition into tonight's edition of the Shoot and Shout segment?
Absolutely. What I wanted to talk about, and this is a really, really quick question, is one of the companies that you have worked for in Texas is called Inspire Pro. Can you tell us about Inspire Pro Wrestling?
Yes, you asked me about a company that no longer uses my services. Thank you, Jonesy.
Well done, well done.
Salt and lemon juice to put on that wound. But no, seriously, to speak about Inspire Pro is a very exciting company. They've done some tremendous things. They run predominantly in the Austin area, and they pull in people from all over. I've actually met a tremendous number of persons, both future stars and current stars, thanks to Inspire Pro Wrestling. They've always put on a very lovely product. I'm very, I don't know if saddened is the right word, but I maybe disappointed. I'm very disappointed that we aren't working together any longer, because they really did put together something and have had something. I've unfortunately not been to see a show for them in quite some time, but they've got something very special there, and they've put together a very lovely product. So anyone who has the opportunity to catch Inspire Pro, I really do encourage them to do so. But I could say that about so many other companies. Texas has got a tremendous wealth of incredible companies. Branded Outlaw Wrestling, BOW, down in San Antonio, does beautiful work, as does Anarchy Championship Wrestling, both of which, by the way, are companies I've never worked for. Then there's Booker T's Reality of Wrestling in Houston, and they put on a tremendous product, and they churn out some incredible students. Then you have DFW All Pro, who is a training ground and a feeder for most of the DFW area, but specifically for their more prestigious body of work, VIP Wrestling, which VIP Wrestling, as a matter of fact, just this past weekend, had a lovely, lovely show in which we had Sammy Guevara in one of his last real independent bookings before AEW takes full control well, not full control, because of course, you know, they're able to take bookings outside of the company, but before AEW, a main priority for what he's doing. As a matter of fact, we had Austin Theory and Matt Cross in a triple threat match against 50 cal Barrett Brown for the VIP championship, and that was an amazing match. And then, of course, we have the company that I'm the general manager for, Heroes of Wrestling, and we've grown leaps and bounds in the year that we've been running. As a matter of fact, on the 28th of this month, we'll have our anniversary show, which will feature as the main event the former NWA World Heavyweight Champion Tim Storm versus a tremendous talent in Texas, main event Mike Fox, who a lot of us, until he decided that he wanted to pursue family pursuits, we thought Mr. Fox was going to go all the way to the big show. You know, a lot of incredible things in Texas and in Texas wrestling, not just Nigel Rabid, although Nigel Rabid is one of those things. Oh, and I almost forgot, Soar Wrestling, run by the WWE Tag Team Champion, former Sir Mo. So we've got a lot of tremendous things. Oh, and I almost forgot about Pro Wrestling Religion. How could I forget about Pro Wrestling Religion? Also another brilliant, very star-studded company, much like Inspire Pro, VIP. They do incredible work.
Yeah, no doubt, and I think, Nigel, at the very pinnacle of wrestlers coming from Texas, I mean, you know, one of my personal favorites, ACH, who's a Texas boy himself, was recently signed to NXT. So kudos to Texas, y'all are killing it, bro, no doubt.
Yeah. I'm very happy for ACH. I've known AC for 10 years. Now, very talented young man. He's put in a lot of hard work, and I'm very glad to see him getting his due. I hope he tears it up. I hope there's a lot of tremendous things. But I mean, Texas is also where Keith Lee came from, of NXT.
That's right.
And when he makes it to the big time, much like Ember Moon, who also came from Texas.
Daniel Bryan, TWA, Rudy Gonzalez, those folks down there.
Daniel Bryan, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you guys have the Hall of Fame down there.
I think
run by Mr. Johnny Mantel, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, we're gonna make the trip down there here pretty soon. Well, Nigel, let me do this just out of the respect of time. We do have a segment that we call the Shoot and Shout segment, and I think it fits you like a glove, sir. It's all in fun. 30 to 45 seconds. All of us get to spew and exhale anything that might be frustrating us at the moment. It doesn't even have to be wrestling related. And we want to welcome you to join us for tonight's edition of the Shoot and Shout segment. Will you do us the honor?
Well, if you just give me just one moment to two more shout-outs.
Please do.
Three more shout-outs in Texas. 4. I could give you a much longer list.
I know.
I'll keep it short. Now it's East Texas Championship Wrestling. It's only about effectively, I'd say about 1.5 to 2 years old. It's a very exciting little company, starting to grow, and has the benefit of a year into their running, having been acquired by one Nigel Rabid. Then you have North Texas Wrestling Alliance, which young Master James had pointed out in your news feed there, and that's actually the company that can be held responsible for Nigel Rabid in professional wrestling. If it weren't for NCWA, I might not be here. Then there is Metroplex Wrestling, a rarity in Texas wrestling, as they run weekly, and they've always put together a very nice show.
I follow them on Twitter. Metroplex is dope. I can co-sign that for sure. Yeah, I do. Yeah, they're dope. I like their shows. I like their background. Sure. I like how they do their business. They're Metroplex Wrestling on Twitter, y'all. They have stuff on YouTube and everything too. So look them up if you guys get a chance.
Yes, and while you're busy putting them over, also put over Heroes of Wrestling, as it's the company I generally manage. Well done, Renee. Well done. Thank you so much for. I'm trying to.
Hey, listen. I'm trying to reach across the pond here, so the next time we see each other, you don't have your goons breathing down my neck like every friggin' time.
I'll send you a picture of Mrs. Thatcher. You can share it up on. Wrestle Talk, so you understand what I'm bringing with me next time we meet in Midwest Elite Wrestling. But
that'll be fun.
I'll shout out to the Pro Wrestling Federation of Pakistan, which has been kind enough to extend an invitation to me to be the master of ceremonies, announcer, and commentator for their Rumble in Pakistan, held at the beautiful Dream World Resort in Karachi, Pakistan.
Nice.
Big freaking things, man. The empire is growing. That is insane. I love to hear that. Well, all the best to you on your travel, sir. Intern Timmy, you know what to do, baby. It's time for Shoot and Shout. Hit the music. And Jonesy, you know I'm going first.
It's just one of those days where you don't want to wake up. Everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you want to catch the fire. And someone's head off. You don't keep in contact.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go first so I can show you bums how it's done. Here's my shoot and shout tonight. You know the old saying, the customer is always right? I'm sure you guys have heard it. You heard it in cartoons. You heard it in movies. You probably read about it in the newspaper.
Right.
What? Well, you're damn right. They're not always right. You know what? I worked for a company, and we got replaced because the place we were at was too cheap. They didn't want to pay the money. And then a week later, the other company can't cut the mustard. They call us back. And you know what? Like little punks, we come back crawling because we need every last dime on the table. It's so upsetting. The customer's not always right. They should have paid us that money up front. And now I got to go to work after this. It's absurd. It's ridiculous. It's not fair. You know what? I don't mind a hard day's work. I'm Mexican, baby. I put in my 12 hours. But, I mean, come on. Y'all going to kick us out and then be like, oh, we miss you. Come back. Man. You know, I hate all that. Sick and tired of it. Act like a man or a woman or whoever it is that pays the bills over there and admit that you need us. The customer is always right. I'm sick of people saying that. I want to hear that no more. That's my shoot and shout tonight. Who's next?
Mr. Nigel, you want to go? You want me to go?
You go right ahead, Jonesy.
Okay. So my shoot and the shout is it pisses me off and makes me mad that my co-host has finally got Nigel Rabid on the show after how many episodes? Nigel should have been on episode 1. And here we are, episode 240, and we're finally getting Nigel Rabid on the show. Shame on you, Nigel. Shame on you. For shame.
Go! Come on, man. Don't do this to me. Nigel, what do you got?
You know, this is what really, as they say in the animated cartoon world, grinds my gears.
I despise sycophants that seem to think that the easiest way to a person's heart is to try and appeal to them by rolling onto their backs and exposing their soft white bellies, making it sound like they are the greatest follower of the person that they're trying to appease. I cannot stand bootlickers when they come up to me and want to put their tongue all over my fine Italian leather. Well, let me say this. Jonesy, I appreciate the accolades, but really, if you knew about me at episode 1, why is it 240 that I'm on the show instead of getting messages, Mr. Rabid, please come to our show? No, now you throw your co-host under the bus expecting me to go, oh, you're my dearest soul, bless you, my child, I'm not the bloody Pope.
Wow!
Forgive.
Got him! Got him!
Jonesy, you just been put in timeout. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, the leader of the Rabid Empire. Nigel, before you go, man, last thing, what do people know about where you're going to appear next and how they can follow you on social?
You can follow me on social media on Facebook, provided that you don't have anything that makes me feel that you're not a real human being and you are actually a wrestling fan. I generally accept most friend requests. If I can't tell that you're a decent human being, I will generally hold off. I've been a little bit choosy, but then again, my page is completely open to everyone. I don't have anything to hide. You can also find my fan pages. I believe it's the Nigel Rabid, as well as a fan page for the Rabid Empire. My Once Upon a Time podcast show, the Nigel Rabid Show, which may be making a return. I don't know if it'll be a podcast, but the originator of that podcast that I have been talking about may be bringing it back in some form or fashion. You can find me on Twitter at Nigel Rabid, Instagram at the Rabid Empire, but I'm honest, I'm not much of a shutterbug, so I don't really post a whole lot over there. Of course, I also do a fair amount of podcasting myself. Every Monday at 7 p.m. UTC, that's Central for you Americans, you can listen to the All the Queen's Men show at, I believe the website is www.truetexasradio.com, and that is actually a show about the rock band Queen, celebrating their musical growth. And what we do is we do it a bit BBC style. We listen to the show, or we listen to the albums and talk about the songs, what caused them to be created, our impressions about them. And I'm joined by the Will Riggs and 5-Star Phil on that show. I do a monthly podcast with my dear friend, the prize of the Rabid Empire, BC, the Jersey Jackass, and that show is called Jackass 1. It is a Star Wars podcast, as Mr. Jackass is a big fan of Star Wars, as am I. We do that monthly, although there is plans to have a weekly version, or a weekly, I suppose, addendum, not really a version, to Jackass 1, with a Facebook page and Twitter feed to follow. Let's see. Oh, and I do Rigged and Ridiculous on TrueTexasRadio.com. I'm usually on every Saturday, although booking and travel sometimes interferes. But that's with Mr. Will Riggs and a Texas sports radio personality of some tremendous fame, actually, in the DFW area. Greg the Hammer, better known as Grego. Let's see. I think that's it. few irons in the fire, you might say.
Quite a few indeed.
Yeah, I think that's it, yeah.
What's awesome is that all of them.
Oh, and where I'm going to be.
Yes, where are you going to be?
Let's see. I regularly am at DFW All Pro as their commentator. Occasionally we'll do some managing for them, but I'm also commentator for VIP Wrestling.
Nice.
Also occasionally managing at that venue. Of course, Midwest Elite Pro Wrestling next month. Texoma Pro Wrestling. Oh my goodness, I forgot to mention Texoma Pro Wrestling when I was telling you about great wrestling companies. If it wasn't for Texoma Pro Wrestling, I would have never met Charlie Haas. Wouldn't have managed Charlie Haas for 3-4 years. And tremendous opportunities and tremendous. I mean, you see tremendous talent coming from Texoma Pro Wrestling. I'll be at Texoma Pro Wrestling on the 19th. Oh, see, I believe DFW All Pro is the 12th. VIP will be the 3rd. Of course, I'll be in Karachi, Pakistan on the 28th. Just all over the place.
Sounds beautiful. Well, Nigel, sir, if we can find a way to remain cordial and show a little decorum, you are more than welcome to come back. And as much as it pains me to say it, welcome in as the newest member of the Wrestle Talk podcast family, man. We appreciate you making time for us tonight.
Oh, no, not a problem. And I believe I've been more than cordial, especially given the abuse heaped upon me by that Rene fellow.
Facts, yo. Facts. All right. Have a good night, Nigel. Jonesy, we got to go to break. We're coming back with the FWWC and our second featured guest of the evening. That's right, Josiah Williams of Wrestle and Flow. We're going to go ahead and hit one of his songs during our break, and we'll be back in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Peace!
Walking the rings, I'm setting it down and I'm raising the bar. Y'all look like the kind that get lost in the shuffle just playing the part. I belong in the light. Y'all can just stay in the dark. Funny how every time they know who we are, but we say who we are. I'ma take care of the light work and I'ma make them fans go loco. Black and yellow in the logo. I got the game in the chokehold. Music drops, everybody put their hands up like their name. Y'all know just what they say. Adam Cole, baby. They will not leave any doubt in your mind. This is the moment that they waited to have. So knock you out with a punch of a kick of a little bit of both combo with a dab. I am Robbie with the flow. I am Bobby when I'm bold. I'm a Robbie with the gold. Every title I'm a hold. Era this our sound, you better recognize. My lyrics bring the house down where the record lies. I keep moving, I can prove it. Let me show you how I do this. Can't refute it, I ain't losing. This flow is undisputed. Boom. Yeah. They will. Yeah. Let it flow, yeah.
Hey, wrestling fans, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat talking at you, and you're listening to the Wrestle Talk podcast.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. That was a great song. I like that. I can't wait to be able to talk to this guy. It's going to be awesome.
Josie, it is going to be awesome.
For the FWW.
No question about it. It's going to be awesome.
Absolutely. Hopefully by the end of the night, I'll be able to play my clip that I wanted to play, because I really think you're going to enjoy it, Renee. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And listen, just really quickly, I want to address something. I got a guy named Sam Miller talking about not reading the comments. Usually we do, man, but we're a little short on time. It's been a super crazy night. So if you want to definitely get on in, I always prioritize callers first. That number is 657-383-1521. So if we can't get to the callers, we're probably not going to get to the comments. And there's just so much to talk about. The night has been action-packed and exciting. We apologize. Try again. But if you want to get in for sure, dial that number, baby. And you know who dialed that number, Jonesy? The members of the world's premier fantasy wrestling promotion, the FWWC. They're already come on, man. We're just a few minutes away from Josiah Williams. That song was dope, bro, just like you said. So let's go ahead and get into it, man, because this is UniverseMania week, baby. And I know there's a lot of people on fire, baby. So let's get through it. Let's see what these people got.
The first person that we have coming on tonight is a man that comes on to the show very constantly. Ladies and gentlemen, good old Tink Tink.
Gentlemen, how you doing?
Tank, doing great, man. I don't know why he just called you Tink Tink. Apparently, Nightmare can't even come up with his own insults. He's got to steal other people's stuff. What's up, champ?
Nothing, man. Nothing. I agree. He's so unoriginal. He thinks he's funny, but you know what? Just brush him off like I do anything else.
La Familia, a bunch of haters.
Pretty much.
What's on your mind, bro?
So, oh man, nothing. I'm just getting ready to head out. You know, catch my flight, going up to New Jersey. You know, get ready for FWWC UniverseMania 5. I got a lot of matches coming up. But I just wanted to let everyone know that even though I might have a lot of matches, I'm focused on one individual. And that is Daniel Grimm. See, he has the most prestigious title in the FWWC. And that is the Warriors Heart Championship. See, this is the fourth time I've gone for something that I've deserved. And I will get my hands on that title come this Sunday.
Well, Tank, real quick, let me tell you something, man. You've chosen a great time to pursue the FWWC Warriors Heart Championship, because pretty soon that belt's going to go through a transformation, and we're actually hoping to get this done before the end of the year, have a fully customized FWWC Warriors Heart Championship as our top championship in the group. So as you compete for this belt, when you have it, when it's sent to you, will actually get to wear a real belt, not the replica belts that we've been shipping around the world in the FWWC, but a real heavy leather strap, metal plated championship. That's something that's got to have you pretty damn excited, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
You look great over your shoulder. Well, one last question for you, Tank, because we do have a bunch of other callers that are trying to get on tonight. The tag team situation. All of a sudden, you've got the Saviors of Funk and La Familia in this recent incarnation of Heaven's Demons fighting on Friday night for an opportunity to be entered to your championship defense at UniverseMania 5, which already includes Grim Galaxy. Man, what are your thoughts on how this whole thing came together? Do you have a favorite, and do you have a particular team that you would want to actually face yourself?
No, honestly, no. When you made that, statement out, I came to you and I asked in a comment on the page that during your promo, why these two teams? Out of all of a sudden, you got two teams that just pop up and they're given a spot. My thing is, it doesn't really matter. Grim Galaxy beat Saviors of Funk last night, so I don't really see them being posing a threat to us. You got Elmada and Marcus Mayhem. I beat Elmada for part of the tag team championship. Marcus Mayhem, my partner and I, Battle Cat, he and I have beaten Marcus Mayhem several times. So it really doesn't matter who wins. So the better team will win that night, and then they'll face us in Grim Galaxy on Sunday at UniverseMania 5. But we will all see that the Battle Tanks are here, are for sure going to be defending the Amazon jungle.
Dude, well, that's awesome to hear, Tank. Thank you for joining us tonight, man. I know that you're right in the middle of preparations for your multiple matches at UniverseMania 5, man, and we want to wish you all the best because you will actually be in attendance at WrestleMania, man, which I know how excited you are about the FWWC, but you're making your first trip and actually going to a WrestleMania, bro. So congratulations to you. I want you to have a ton of fun while you're there. Guys, we are just a few minutes. We actually even have a caller on hold that I have not identified. That may be Jay Will of Wrestle and Flow. So you guys hang in there. We're going to have him on. We're going to have a great conversation with him about the incredible stuff that he's been working on. But we have to continue to get through some of these calls from the FWWC, the world's premier fantasy wrestling promotion. And what better place to go than to go to a man that I promised would be on. And I'm talking about the originator, the creator, the head administrator of the FWC. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show for the first time in a long time, Money Man Mills.
Yo, what's up, baby? That's one of those Vinnie Mac moments, man.
Welcome back, sir. Welcome back. What is up, man? Good to hear from you.
Amazing. I feel amazing. Man, it's good to hear from you guys, too, man. I'm super excited about this week, man. Apologies for my absence, but most people don't know it takes a lot. When I say a lot, a very lot of time, a very lot of commitment to put these events together. When I say these events, I'm talking about UniverseMania 5, live this Sunday from Esports Bar, KC, 7470 Neiman Road. My bad, Renee. I got a pimp. I got a pimp, dog.
Well, you're the money man for a reason. Advertising is your game, bro. I'm just stepping aside and letting you do what you do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But it's hard to believe, man. This is the 5th one, dude. This is the 5th one. The 5th one we've done, man. What the heck?
The 5th one. Not the first one, not the second one. Not the third one, not the fourth one, but the 5th one.
Will you stop mocking the money man already, Jonesy? My goodness. Well,
5 times.
5 times.
But I will say this, Deron Mills, if you are coming to MEW, I am not sitting in the back seat because last time I sat in the back seat, I had to sit next to a guy by the name of Coach Malice who just talked the entire time. I'm sitting in the back seat this time.
When we went to Dynamo, dude, that was crazy. That was so dope.
We can always put you in the trunk. I'm just saying.
You will fit pretty well back there. You know, Brother Bishop's been calling him, Brother Bishop Devontae D's been calling him a sawed-off Oompa Loompa is what he's been calling him. That's crazy. Well, listen, DeJuan, real quick while we have you on, I actually want to bring on my buddy Scott, who's not a part of the FWWC, but you've been doing a great job, man, telling people about the mugs, right? And we're going to have mugs available at UniverseMania 5, the world's premier watch party at esports. $7 entry. We're going to have WWE 2K19. We're trying to set up the tournament. We're going to see how many people we can get for it if we do it good, if not. But we got specialty drinks. One of them is even called the RKO. We're going to have 20 TVs playing WrestleMania. A great environment, pool. There's going to be arcades. It's a family. You can bring your family there till about 10 o'clock. So we're going to bring on Scott because you've been talking a lot about these beer mugs. You've been promoting the hell out of them. And why not bring on, just for a quick moment, the guy who actually does the engraving, man. So I want to go ahead and have him just come on and say a few words and how excited he is about the work that he's been doing and about UniverseMania and all the like. So, ladies and gentlemen, from Rathbum Engraving, our buddy Scott is going to join us for a couple of seconds. Scott, what's on your mind tonight, man? Thanks for calling in.
Oh, what's up, man? I cannot wait for WrestleMania. Oh, my God. It's going to be off the chain.
Dude, it is going to be great. And one of the things that makes it exciting, man, is the work that you've been doing. Dewan actually has been doing an awesome job of promoting the mugs that you created. Bro, just tell us a little bit about what you do and your love for pro wrestling, man, because honestly, it comes through. And I know you were excited when we put this partnership together.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit about what I do though, as far as the engraving, man. It's all freehand done. I use very little computer work, but it's all freehand done. I've been an artist since I was a kid, so it comes kind of second natured. So I love the fact that we were able to make a partnership out of it. That is awesome. Wrestle. I used to be an amateur wrestler whenever I was a kid, and I got hurt real bad, so I couldn't wrestle anymore. But that's where it kind of threw that out of the water. Yes, look at that bug. I mean, the mugs are beautiful. I think how we decided to design that and design the customization is remarkable. So yeah, it's awesome.
It is awesome. And Scott, man, I don't know if you're going to be able to make it this Sunday, man, but UniverseMania 5 is going to be a huge deal. And I want you to know these mugs will be for sale that day. And I know it's something that makes you proud to be able to share your art with the world.
Yeah, actually, unfortunately, I won't be able to make it this year. There's some things that just has happened, and it's not going to be able to happen. But yes, those mugs are going to be up for sale, and go out there and get you one, man. They're awesome. They're nice and slick. You customize them with your name on them, which is really, really cool. So yeah, definitely, it's great to be able to get my work out there.
No doubt, it is great. And I wanted to bring him on for just a second. And thank you for calling in, Scott. Because, Dewan, I wanted you to hear from the guy that actually creates this stuff, man. And I know when it comes to you and UNM5 and everything we've got going on this weekend, it's all excitement, man. It's all about bringing community together. And that's exactly what we're doing with Rap Bum Engraving, esports, the FWWC, the Wrestle Talk podcast, man. So talk about that fusion. And if you're a member of the FWWC, what you could expect going into this weekend, because it's a lot more than just Sunday, right?
Oh, man. When we started this group, like nearly 8 years ago, but officially being the FWC, damn, almost 4 to 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I would have never thought in a million years, like before, man, community, familyship, togetherness, everybody with one accord, one feeling, one passion for professional wrestling, being able to come together and just enjoy it, man, without being judged. So this entire weekend, man, is going to be amazing. So pay close attention, ladies and gentlemen, because this next statement is for you guys. I've been having people ask me questions. Friday night, takeover, Friday night. Where's takeover? Well, exclusively for the members of the FWC, takeover will be located at Moneyman Mill's house. That is right. I'm not going to get my address live over the air because
don't do that. There's a lot of people listening tonight. Yeah, don't do that because you'll have all kinds of people showing up.
Yeah. I think Mrs. Moneyman Mills would have an issue with that. But
yeah,
exclusive for the FWC group, man. We're going to be live at my crib. For those that do come, you will get a taste. Listen to me. You will get a taste of my world famous Moneyman spaghetti. I will be making a very, very big pot. We got some pizza coming. I still need someone to bring soda and water and ice. Whoever's listening out there who's coming to the party. We got soda, we got water, we got ice. We got the food covered. We got the cups covered. We got all covered. We need some damn soda and water, man. But yeah, Friday night from my house, my crib. I will put the address in the chat where it's located. Also, Saturday, we're going to have...
Well, man, before you go, hold on. Before you move on, we have Jay Will on hold. He's listening in. Dude, he's the man that created, and there's tons of episodes now. I've only been sharing episode 1, which is where he took the Undisputed Era theme and turned it into like a rap, and he kills it. You guys have seen it all over our social media. We shared it. Bro, make a pick. I'm going to put you on the spot because, that's the spirit of the FWWC. We make picks for championships, and if you win a championship, we will actually mail it to your house. It's completely free. All you got to do is ship it to the next guy when he wins. It's kind of a cool deal. But, bro, so I'm going to put you on the spot, bro. Who wins? Johnny Gargano or Adam Cole, baby? Who do you got?
Oh, goodness gracious. You know what? I'll be real with you, man. I got to give it to Gargano.
Oh, what?
I got to give it to Gargano, man.
I can't wait to.
I got to give it to Gargano, bro. I got to give it to Gargano, bro. I got to.
That's a tough one. I can't wait to hear what Jay Will has to say about it here in just a few moments. But go ahead and tell us about Saturday, bro, because I know we had Nigel Rabid on a little bit earlier. He works for MEW. You know, I've had the opportunity to do some commentary work, some hype band stuff for them, bro. How excited are you? Because I know it's been a while since you've made it out to an independent show.
Man, I know it's been a while, man. I'm gonna tell you something. The mini mills, depending on their behavior, the oldest mini mills had kind of a rough day today on the bus. So we'll see what happens. Could be making an appearance that night at their first independent show. And like I was telling you guys, man, this group, this family is all about togetherness. It's about community. It's about making memories with the people you love and care about. So Lord knows, since it's been a very, very long time, last time I've been to an independent show. But to be able to take my kids there with me, man, is going to be amazing because they get to see firsthand, why I do this, why I have a passion for this group, why I have a passion for professional wrestling. So that's a huge, huge deal, man. I want everybody who's listening to come out to that, man. We are going to kick it, and we're going to put Jonesy in the trunk if he keeps running his mouth. He knows all
Jonesy said, wait a minute. Jonesy said, and then we'll go ahead and cap it off here. I know we got a lot of other people from the FWWC. We'll make some time for you guys after Jay Will, but we do have to move on out of respect for his time. But Jonesy said he wants to catch a chop. And I hear Rick Maverick might be making an appearance in good old KC for the UniverseMania watch party. So all I'm saying is make sure y'all bring your high definition cameras because Jonesy is about to catch another double hand chop to the chest and belly. I know that's something you're dying to see.
Every time that Rick Maverick shows up, what are you talking about? What I'm worried about is eating at Mr. Mills' house because I remember you telling me about a certain a special in a WWE Japan show and you guys cooked out and yeah.
Oh, that. We'll spare everybody the details of that. Well,
yeah, that.
That's funny that you bring that up. All right. Well, anyway, Dewan, man, last thing before you go, bro. Thank you for contributing everything that you do. The show has grown tremendously. We're to the point now where we've been heard in over 40 countries, and I have no idea why. So it's amazing to be able to bring these sorts of guests on. We've had multiple Hall of Famers on, people that are relevant to pro wrestling today. I mean, geez Louise, we were talking to Selena De Lorenzo the other night from Major League. We talked to Brian Pillman Jr. We've had Ian Rigabani of Riga Honor. You know how it goes, but we like to keep the blue collar. We have faith, man. We have faith in the people that support us, and God is so good, man. It makes me excited. So, D, thank you for coming on, bro. We'll catch you tomorrow during the FWWC Tonight podcast, which is all about the FWWC. And much love to you, bro. I'm excited for what's going to be a tremendous weekend.
Hey, partnership.
All day, baby. Have a good night. Peace. Jonesy, why does it feel like we never have enough time? Oh, my goodness. There's just so much to talk about, man. And I feel like we're only scratching the surface. But that said, you know what time it is, right, brother?
It is time for the fucking guest.
Yeah, boy. Our second guest. I know you guys. Dude, Josiah, such a talented guy, man. I love where he comes from. His story is pretty cool from what I've seen so far. And not only is his story awesome, man, he's supremely talented. So we're going to go ahead and play one more episode 2 of what he does, which is Wrestle and Flow. And then we're going to get into a conversation with him about kind of how this all started and kind of maybe where he thinks it might go, because he's already got some pretty cool opportunities because of his amazing talent. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the Wrestle Talk podcast for the very first time, the creator, the originator of Wrestle and Flow, ladies and gentlemen, J. Will Josiah Williams.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah.
They will. Yeah. Y'all black those tactics. I call this practice. Body slam, no mattress. I'll leave y'all backwards. My goal is not plastic. My goal is the backseat. The only club that I rep now has VOD on the jacket. Blackout artist for all of the fakes in the garden. Y'all now are a...
Jay Will, welcome to the show, man. How you doing tonight, bro?
Fantastic. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing good, man. Thank you for making time for us.
Oh, thank you for the opportunity. I truly appreciate it.
No doubt. Jonesy, I know you're excited to talk to Josiah, man. Why don't you go ahead and kick it off?
Absolutely. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. So, I guess the first question is, how did Wrestle and Flow get started?
About almost a year ago. This was in August. Is when I launched kind of the channel and the first official video. It was something that I thought about for a couple of years that I just never really took the time to do. So in the original concept, I was just going to drop maybe like 7 or 8 songs at a time, kind of like how people do mixtapes, but it was going to be like a visual mixtape. So I was going to do a couple of those, and I decided, you know what, let's just drop 1 or 2 just to see what people think. Got a good reaction. I'm like, okay, I think I'm on the right path. So let's just try to do, 1 at a time. And it worked out.
Absolutely. And from listening to your music, I can tell that you are a huge wrestling fan. How did you, what were your favorite wrestlers growing up?
I started watching wrestling when I was in middle school. And so around that time, I'm looking at guys like, Batista, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, JBL, Shawn Michaels. It was post Attitude Era, but it was the beginning of kind of time for WWE. So that was kind of like, those are my guys that I looked at, and I would say Batista and Shawn Michaels, Eddie Guerrero were amongst my favorites coming up.
Okay. So I would be safe to say that you're pretty excited about WrestleMania, seeing against Batista then.
I am incredibly excited to see this. And it's going to be my first WrestleMania, so I got to be excited.
Oh, you're actually going to be there?
I'm actually going to be there. My first ever WrestleMania. Wow. Actually, my first. I've never been to pay-per-view before, so yeah.
Wow, your first pay-per-view and it's WrestleMania? I'm jealous, man.
Heck yeah. Got any room in your luggage, dude?
Got a little bit of space, just a little bit.
Oh, man, I don't want to take up all of the time, so Renee, why don't you come in here with whatever questions that you have, sir?
Well, I appreciate it, Joe. Those were some good questions, man. I'll do my best to follow up here. So right off the jump, man, the wrestling side of it is dope, right? But for somebody like me, what the cooler element of it is what you bring, which is your lyricism and your ability to put together bars. You're obviously a younger dude, but you're not of the Migos style, right? You have some depth to your ability. So it makes me wonder. We talked a little bit about your wrestling inspirations as a young teenager. Talk to us about your hip hop inspirations. Where did you find that flow, bro? You don't just develop that by listening to some of the stuff that comes out now. Clearly you were listening to some real MCs. So I'm curious, who were some of your inspirations on the musical side of things?
So, man, this is going to be actually hilarious to answer. So growing up, I listened to a lot of R&B and pop, actually.
All right.
And for me, getting into hip hop wasn't, I always loved hip hop, of course, but I've kind of just been an eclectic style of musician. I don't have a top 5 for hip hop and rap, but I love listening to now guys like Black Thought,
love Drake. I love Joyner Lucas. Andre 3000 growing up was always really cool because for him, it wasn't just rap. It was like everything in one. I love what Kendrick Lamar does. I don't know. There's a lot of different people. But for me, I think what makes me stand out is that I'm huge into Christian hip hop as well. So there are guys like Andy Mineo, who in a way, you know, I obviously have a connection to wrestling. But what he does with basketball, you know, it's the same. Has this passion that in most of his songs you're going to hear in relation to the NBA in a way.
Yep.
So Andy Mineo, Trick Lee, there's a guy named Hyper Fenton, Nicholas Hamilton. Yeah, those are my guys, man.
Wait. So now we're gonna have a beef, because how dare you mention hip hop Christian artists without talking about my favorite group, Social Club Misfits. Me and Jonesy have actually been to a social club show. What is wrong with you, Josiah? Shame on you.
There's so many talented,
True.
talented groups. Like, I mean, that's great, of course.
Yeah. No, man, I'm absolutely just teasing. That was one of the surprises, because my partner Joe, he actually lives in West Virginia, so that's where he's broadcasting from. I'm in Kansas City. He came in for one of these UniverseMania parties that you heard us talking about while you were on hold, and he, like, sometimes we go to wrestling, sometimes we do different stuff like the day before. I was like, nah, bro, we're about to go to this concert. And he goes, what are you talking about? I don't think he had really heard a whole bunch of like Christian hip hop or nothing. And I was like, dude, trust me. Fizzle was the opener. Fizzle opened. So you can already imagine how that started. And then we got into Social Club. Yo, my man Joe is like a pretty small guy. We started way in the back, Jay Will. And by the time the show was over, Joe was right there in front. Like, he knew all the songs. It was amazing. He had his hands up. He was praising God the whole time. It was incredible. I never seen nothing like that. Me and my boy LeVarn were like, look at Joe, like, just mixing into the crowd. Like, he, you know, it was the coolest thing to see, man. It was amazing experience.
It was like a hater on the cool G sweater.
That's cool. That's really, man, that's so cool. I feel like a lot of people don't really know what, not just about what Christian hip hop is, how much power that it really holds. Like, if you compare it to, you know, the hip hop that comes on the radio or the hip hop that is fed through, you know, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever it is, like, it's different content, but it still gives you that grit that you listen to for anybody else. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, especially guys like Seven and Bizzle on some of his stuff. It was cool, though, not to get off the wrestling topic completely, but I was at Finish Line looking for a pair of sneakers 2 weeks ago, and they were playing Lecrae. So I was like, this is dope. Like, I can get behind this, you know? So pretty cool. Pretty cool that we have that in common. But let's turn it back to the pro wrestling world here real quickly. So when you first dropped that the Undisputed Era remix, which we played for our break song today, there was a reason it kind of took off. I mean, obviously it was tremendous, so I don't want to take anything away from you and your talent, but somebody saw it and they shared it, and then somebody else saw it and they shared it, and then it just kept going that way. Can you tell us a little bit about kind of that chain of events?
Yes, so I post most of my videos at 11 Central, right? So keep in mind, this whole time I have a full-time job, so I'm at work, like kind of planning these releases in a way. So 11 o'clock hits, I post the video, some people see it. I think Roderick Strong was the first person who saw it and reposted it. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, dang, like, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it is, boy.
That's a huge deal. A couple minutes after that, Kyle O'Reilly sees it, and I'm like, oh, wow, okay, this is getting somewhere. That's kind of cool. This is like, man, what is happening right now? And then right after that, it gets reposted by the one and only, Adam Cole. And I'm like,
baby! I can't help myself anytime I hear that. I gotta say it.
It was insane. And then later that day, Bobby Fish. So like it made it through the entire Undisputed Era in 24 hours. Like it was really cool. And you know, I had to reach out and just say thank you to them just for showing the support and just for advocating for it. I really appreciate that.
That is very cool. Well, Joe, I know you had at least one more question before we got into the game show challenge. But dude, I got to ask you, so you've already had a chance to cover a lot of different songs. Your YouTube channel is fantastic. You basically take requests. You're like, hey, what do y'all want me to do? But you won't give it away necessarily. I know like there was a point in time early on when somebody was like, hey, when are you going to do Bray Wyatt's theme? And then like just a little bit afterwards, you had it out and it was incredible. So as far as moving forward, can you give us any clue as to what might be something that you're currently working on that people might be able to see here in the short-term future?
Let's see. Yeah, I don't like to give it away, but I can say this. There are a lot of people on the WrestleMania card that are finally getting the moment that they truly deserve. And I think it's time to showcase some of them.
Jonesy, you know who he's talking about? Because I already know, but I'm not going to give it away.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Jonesy, why don't you go ahead and jump in, bro? What do you got?
I got to know, who do you got? Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, or Charlotte Flair?
I have to go with the man, Becky Lynch, for a few reasons. One, I think it's fully earned it and deserved it. And it would be one of the greatest moments in recent WrestleMania history. And two, I think it would show a lot about like where the direction of women's wrestling is headed. And I think it's one of those things that obviously, regardless of who wins, is going to get a big reaction. Whether it's tears or boo, it's going to get a big reaction.
Yeah.
But I think Becky Lynch takes it.
Woo!
That's definitely
putting J-Will in the batter's box, Joe. That's a great question.
And, yeah, I would not be upset to see Becky Lynch win. I wouldn't be upset to see Charlotte Flair win. I think that it's amazing that the women are finally main eventing WrestleMania. I think that's completely awesome. My only hope is that Brock Lesnar loses, because I want to see that title go away from Brock Lesnar. That's just my opinion.
I think a lot of people feel that way. Yeah, I think most of the WWE universe is behind Seth Rollins on that one. Well, I have a question that's somewhat similar to Jonesy's. It's about which do you choose before we get into the game show challenge, Jay Will. So I asked this to a fellow, a friend, I should say, last week when he came on. And my question was, I know you're also a big New Japan guy now. So if you had to choose between one of these two, which would you choose? On Saturday night before WrestleMania, would you go to A, the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony, or B, the G1 Supercard at Madison Square Garden?
Well, seeing how I've never, ever been, well, I mean, obviously both. I've never been to either event, but I've never had an opportunity to see anything outside of WWE. And I think it's good to expand and see what's going on in other places. So I would have to go with G1 for this one.
Wow, Jonesy, the G1 Supercard is 2-0. I never thought I would hear somebody say that like this consistently. That's crazy. I think it's awesome because there's so much for wrestling fans to take in now. And that's one of the reasons that I was so excited about having you on, Jay Will, because like you're not just doing, WWE songs. You did the Gorillas of Destiny. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're hot, bro. Bullet Club is on fire still. They have been for a long time. So the fact that you're willing to switch it up and have some versatility, makes it even cooler to see you do what you do. But that said, J. Will, we do want to see if we can strike your competitive spirit out in what we call the Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge. It's a little bit of a trivia. It's always fun. And honestly, I always lose, so I think you'll be okay. Would you do us the honor in joining us on tonight's edition?
Man, I'll do my best. I'll probably be careful and expose the weaker side of J. Will. But you know what? Let's just go for it.
Let's do it. J. Will's ready for a challenge. He gets to go one-on-one with the Night Owl. Intern Timmy, hit the music, baby. Let's do tonight's edition of the Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge.
Seconds. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's installment of the world famous Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge. Tonight's contest is scheduled for the best 2 out of 3 falls, and all contestants are the Night Owl, Renee Martinez, Josiah Williams. And a few moments, I will ask you 3 questions about a particular professional wrestling topic. Whenever you think you know the answer to the question, just shout out your answer. The first person to make 2 falls will win tonight's Game Show Challenge. Tonight's podcast Game Show Challenge is simply entitled WrestleMania 1. In a moment, I will give clues about 3 professional wrestlers who participated in major events at WrestleMania 1. When you think you know who I'm talking about, just shout out your answer. The first person to win 2 balls will win tonight's contest. So I'll give a couple clues. You shout out your answer. First person that shouts out the correct answer gets a point. First person who gets 2 points wins the game show. Pretty simple, right?
I think it's simple. What happened?
Well, apparently I haven't learned how to play this game properly, but from what I understand, he gives clues. When you think you know the answer, just shout it out. Let's go.
All right, question number 1. This late WWF Hall of Famer. Intern Jimmy. Let's restart this. This late WWF Hall of Famer is known for balking and wearing a dog collar and chain to the ring. He won his first championship match at WrestleMania by countout over Greg the Hammer Valentine. Can you name this gentleman?
You said count out over who?
Greg the Hammer Valentine at WrestleMania 1. He bossed. He wore a dog chain.
Wait, George the Animal Steel.
No, not George the Animal Steel. Think of somebody from the junkyard.
Win that one?
The junkyard dog.
Junkyard dog is correct.
Yes!
The Night Owl. So the Night Owl has 1 point. Josiah is not on the board yet, but you still have a chance. Okay, this late WWF Hall of Famer won $15,000 by body slamming Big John Studd in a body slam challenge. He also eventually wrestled Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 3.
Andre the Giant, for sure.
Andre the Giant is correct.
Man, he
beat
me. I was ready with that one, too.
Okay.
I was ready. Almost.
Here's question number 3. Okay. This late WWE Hall of Famer was from Russia. He teamed with the Iron Sheik to win the WWF Championship.
Ivan Koloff.
No.
Nikita Koloff.
Nikolai.
Nikolai Volkov is correct.
Oh, no!
Game Show Challenge. Oh, my goodness.
I got my Russians messed up, man. Oh, that's so mad. Talk about some collusion. That's messed up.
For winning the Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge, here is your song.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Never heal my mind, never get it up. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands
Go up. Hey.
and they say
Hey. Wow. Man. I'm embarrassed.
Listen,
But you know what? I'll take my loss like a man. Good job, Josiah. You got me, bro. The comeback, baby.
Thank you very much. I take checks and cash.
Whoa. We're talking to J. Will, the businessman now. Well, I'll tell you what, J. Will, man. You, sir, are supremely talented, like we've been saying all night, man. Please continue to produce the stuff that you're doing. Obviously, your heart is in the right place, and you love pro wrestling just like we do here on the Wrestle Talk podcast, man. So let me be the first one to officially welcome you as the newest member of the Wrestle Talk podcast family.
Oh, man, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it, and I truly appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Yeah, no doubt. And I want a rematch. I want a rematch next time. How about that?
Let's do it. There will be a next time, yes.
Awesome. Jonesy, anything you want to say before we get out of here tonight, man?
Just thank you so much for agreeing to come on to the show. Your music is freaking awesome. I hope you have a great time at WrestleMania, and it's a memory you're never going to forget.
That's right. Thank you so much. I fly out in less than 12 hours, so I'm looking forward to it.
Wow, man. One last thing before you go, bro, and if it's too much to ask, that's fine. Drop your social so people know where to find you. And could you acapella any of those rhymes to close out tonight's show? If you have them in your brain, would that be cool?
Let's do that.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you all for listening. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Josiah Williams. You can follow me at J. Dean Williams. That's D-E-A-N. It's my middle name. I love my name. I went with that. So it's J. Dean. And let's see, what can I end this up with? Right in this moment, your heart should be pounding. We came through the crowd and we got you surrounded. The fans getting loud and the building is crowded. Now you know just how it feels to be hounded. Work for nobody, we down for each other. Better take cover if y'all see the brothers. Best in the business, that's how we're regarded. Been here a while and we're just getting started. Call us the symbols of excellence. We came to demolish the decadence. Y'all are diseases and we came to cleanse it. Got a power bomb if you can't comprehend it. Yeah.
Yo, baby! Woo! It's UniverseMania season, baby! Wrestle and Flow, Wrestle Talk Podcast, UniverseMania 5. You know how we do it. Good night, everybody. Peace! What a show. I love y'all, man. MEW on Saturday. UniverseMania 5 at eSports on Sunday. Hope to see you there. Grace and peace, everybody. Adios.